Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with week number 2 of the PMC. This week we're going up against Phantombass. He's a coach of the New York Cosmogs. So yeah, I was pretty excited to play him. He's a really nice guy. Be sure to check out his channel. I'll link it in the description below. But yeah, we were able to pick up a nice 4-0 victory week 1. So we're going up into this game 1-0 plus 4. So we're trying to improve that even more. But it'll definitely be pretty difficult because Phantombass has such a threatening team. His team consists of Magearna, Dugtrio, Mega Alakazam, Salamence, Mamoswine, Dhelmise, Lantern, Alolan Persian, Weezing, Blissey, and Talonflame. And my team consists of Garchomp, Megagolade, Tangrowth, Klefki, Greninja, Thundurus Therian, Crobat, Mesprit, Vaporeon, Piloswine, and Gigalith. Now, this is a pretty interesting matchup because, first of all, he has Magearna, which is absolutely broken in League format, and I don't think it should ever be allowed. But the first thing I noticed during prep is that basically his fast mons are really weak to my priority on my team, specifically my Mega Gallade Shadow Sneak and my Greninja's Water Shuriken. So I definitely have to keep that in mind during prep because I figured those two mons are what I would probably try and clean with late game. So, yeah. Also, he's got this really low tier fat. If I said Lantern, I apologize. It's actually Alomomola. I think he traded for Lantern week after this week. So yeah, he's got this really disgusting bat. Like, he's got the Dhelmise, Alomomola, Alolan Persian, Weezing, Blissey, and then Talonflame's kind of annoying too. So yeah, this was really hard to build for. Just his team is so broken. Talonflame and Dugtrio are huge threats to my team as well. Something like a banded Dugtrio can trap my Gallade and Garchomp, deeming them useless. So Dugtrio was annoying. And Mince was really scary because if I didn't opt to bring Piloswine, I didn't really have much for a plus win. Mince apart from my Klefki. And yeah, so I'll get into the team I built. The first one I put in the team was Megagolade. I'm adamant Megagolade creeping Mamoswine by a couple of points because I didn't. The next fastest mon after Gallade in this matchup is Salamence, and I didn't think he'd bring a Mence with that much speed considering my speed tiers, because my next fastest mon after base 100 is really far down. It's actually Mesprit, so I figured he'd definitely bring a bulkier Mence. He wouldn't bring enough speed for, like, basically I'm speed creeping max speed Jolly Mamoswine because I didn't think it would be worth it to run to speed creep Salamence. So yeah, I'm max attack, adamant with a ton of bulk and a bit of speed. I got Shadow Sneak, Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, and Taunt. My dual stabs are pretty solid versus team. I couldn't really afford Ice Punch because I wanted Zen Headbutt to hit the Weezing, but yeah, Shadow Sneak is good late game priority for the Zam once I chip it down a bit, and yeah, Close Combat just hits his team really hard as well. Hits stuff like the Magearna, the Mamoswine, the Lantern, or Alomomola, my bad, Blissey hard. So yeah, next up I've got Greninja. Greninja is a Life Orb Greninja. Taunt, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Water Shuriken. This thing hits his team extremely hard. Basically, his only switch in is Blissey, which I can taunt down and then capitalize upon, because I do have physical breakers this game. And yeah, this thing, like, it hits the Magearna super hard. I've got Water Shuriken for the Zam and Dugtrio, Ice Beam for the Mence, and Ice Beam for the Dhelmise. And yeah, so this one is just super good this game. Next up, I've got Gigalith. Gigalith is kind of weird this game. I'm Air Balloon Gigalith with Stone Edge, Earthquake Superpower, and Explosion. Basically, this is what I threw on as a 6th mon because I felt like my team was really weak to Mamoswine. I didn't just want to fold to Mamoswine. This was my only, like, switch in. So I put this mon on. Superpower is to kill Mamoswine after rocks, because I do have a lot of attack investment. So I'm actually sturdy, I'm not Sandstream, and this was because Superpower and Sandstream are incompatible, so I decided I'll go with Sturdy because I figured Gigalith wasn't taking many special hits this game, and I really wanted that Superpower to OHKO the Mamoswine after rocks, so I opted to go with Sturdy. Sturdy and Superpower instead of just Sandstream and then rocking with Stone Edge. Next up, got Garchomp. Garchomp is a Swords Dance Dragon EMZ set, Earthquake, Swords Dance, Dragon Claw, and Stealth Rock. This mod is just really good to break this team apart. I hit the Magearna hard, I OHKO the Alakazam, the Doug Trio, the Dragon EMZ, Dragon Claw, the Devastating Drake hits, stuff like the Delmise, the Alomomola, the Weezing really hard. So, yeah. This mod's just really important to help me really tear apart his wall core. And next up, Scarfthunder's T. This mod is basically put on the team, so I have something to outspeed Alakazam. So basically, if like he has a full health Zam, I'm not forced to like sack him on just to get damage off and then leave it in range of my Gallade Shadow Sneak. But yeah. Once I get his electric resist out of the way, specifically the Delmise and the Mamoswine, then this mod is looking really solid. But yeah. And then last up, I've got Especially Defensive Klefki, Magnet Rise, Thunder Wave, Spikes, and Play Rough. This thing is especially defensive to help me take on Zam. It's like my only switch in. Magnet Rise is good in case I need to Magnet Rise up on the Salamence or the Mamoswine. Spikes are just good to chip down his team, especially the Delmise. And yeah, basically this mod is just an overall really nice pivot that can support my offense. So without further ado, let's get straight into the game. I'm going to lead off with my Gallade because it matches up pretty nicely versus everything on his team, as he is going to lead off with his Mamoswine. Now this is good for me because I do one-shot the Mamoswine with close combat, and here I can live an Earthquake, a Life Orb Earthquake, so I decide to go for the taunt turn 1 in case he's Sash Rocks, and if he attacks me and he's Life Orb, it's not the end of the world. But I didn't want to go for close combat in case he was Sash and because Sash Earthquake, because after the close combat drop, I guaranteed die to Earthquake. So I just go for the taunt, as he actually is going to go into his Delmise. Now this Delmise is going to be pretty annoying for this match, because it's basically his main thing from stopping my Gallade from putting in the finest. So I go for the taunt. This doesn't really matter because I can't think of a non-attack move Delmise would go for it. But on this next turn, I'm going to go for Zen Headbutt. I just wanted to gauge the damage on this Delmise. I could live any hit, cause aside from like a max attack Shadow Claw, but I really didn't expect him to bring Shadow Claw versus my team. I figured his set would be like Rapid Spin, Anchor Shot, Power Whip, and probably Earthquake. So yeah. Or even like mixed in Power Ice. That's probably not that, but yeah. I got the flinch, which kind of sucks, cause here on this next turn I'm gonna switch into my Garchomp. But yeah, that flinch kind of sucks. But the chip on Delmise is nice. I really want this thing weakened, so my Gallade can just really do work. So yeah, here he's gonna pull a double into his Magearna. Now first I was really happy when I saw this, because I figured, oh, I didn't even predict this. This is Garchomp versus Magearna. I can one-shot him with an Earthquake. But as you're gonna see, he is actually Air Balloon Magearna. Now this sucks a lot because this Magearna just became so much more of a threat. My Garchomp was my main way of hitting this Magearna hard. But now it's just really hard for like me to hit it without losing a Mon pretty much. And I need to break this balloon as soon as possible so I can hit it with my Garchomp. I also want this thing weakened for my Gallade and Greninja. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do in this next turn is I'm actually going to harden to my Thundurus. I don't need my Thundurus to win, and I can live any hit apart from max special attack Fleur Cannon, but I didn't really expect Fleur Cannon to come out that way. come out there. So, yeah. Here he goes for the Ice Beam. I live on 6, so there's definitely a max modest Magearna. So, on this turn, I'm just going to fire off Scarf Thunderbolt. I just wanted to get as much damage on the Magearna as possible. But he actually just goes into his Blissey. Here, I didn't expect him to go for a Thunder Wave or he could go a Toxic, but I didn't expect him to go for a Thunder Wave, so I just go hard into my Gallade, as he actually doubles into his Mamoswine. Now this works perfectly because this time I'm gonna go for the close combat, because I figured there was a very good chance he might overpredict. He might expect me to either go for the Taunt again or go for the Zen Head, but predicting Dhelmise, because he did show Dhelmise as a switch in. So yeah, I'm just gonna go straight for the close combat. And he actually just stays in, and this Mamoswine is going to drop to the close combat, which is great. Basically what this means is my Gigalith is kind of expendable, which is fine, but if I need to pick a stack, that'll be it. But here he goes on to his Persian. I'm fine with this because basically my Klefki can take anything this Persian wants to throw at me, and every time he goes down to Persian, it's a free spike for my Klefki, which is great. His only way of removing hazards is the Dhelmise, and I'm fine if he removes the hazards, if he takes the 12% each time he comes in. So yeah, here I'm just going to go for the spike, as he's going to go for the taunt, meaning I can't just set up 3 layers on this thing, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Yeah, so he goes for the taunt, and then here on this next turn, I'm just going to go for the Play Rough. It won't do that much, but you basically just want to chip this Persian down. Here he goes for the Parting Shot, as my Klefki is now -1, and here I was really scared that he's going to go into Magearna and set up, but he actually goes on to his Blissey, which I'm fine with. So, yeah, yeah, the Play Rough is going to do nothing, and basically, here on this next turn, I'm just going to switch Art into my Garchomp. I can live an Ice Beam if he wants to like predict me and go for that. I can really hit something on his team pretty hard. Yeah, so he goes, or actually, I just wanted to see what he went for here. I didn't want to go into my Glade again in case he predicted this. But here I'm actually going to pull a double into my Thundurus, because I didn't want him getting a free switch into Magearna. I really thought that would be what he'd go into. But, yeah, he actually just goes into his Dhelmise, which kind of confused me, but it definitely makes sense. I'd rather, because basically I stand by my play, because I couldn't really let the Magearna come in for free. But, yeah, here I'm just going to click a Volt Switch and chip the Dhelmise down, and I figured he's probably going for a Rapid Spin on this turn, so I'm just going to go hard to my Garchomp, so I can either get up rocks the next turn, and I can also get some more chip damage with the Rough Skin. So yeah, here on this next turn, I'm gonna set up rocks, because I have a plan. After another turn of Rough Skin, he's guaranteed in range of my Devastating Drake. So I'm just gonna go for the rocks, expecting him to like Power Whip on this turn. So he does go for the Power Whip. My Garchomp is going to take a lot of damage, but that's fine, because on this next turn I can kill him with the Devastating Drake, and my rocks will be up to stay. I knew it was very possible he could go into Magearna on this next turn, but I figured by the way he's been playing his Magearna, he probably wouldn't. He's been very careful with it, and he probably really wants these rocks off the field, so I thought he would stay in, and he does. So this Dhelmise is going to drop to the Devastating Drake, which is absolutely great, because now my Gallade has a much better time by just basically running through his team. So yeah, the Devastating Drake is gonna come through, and Dhelmise is gonna drop, but this is also kind of bad because now Magearna gets to come in for free. He goes on to Magearna, as I did say, Gigalith was expendable, so I am gonna sack my Gigalith, and as you're gonna see, if I was actually Sandstream over sturdy, I would have been able to take this Magearna on. Well, not take it on, but I would have been able to not get too KO'd. I would have been able to go for the superpower and break this thing's air balloon, but he's actually just going to kill me with Dazzling Gleam plus Energy Ball. and now I'm kind of in a predicament. I have to send out my Greninja to basically get a big hit off, break this thing's balloon, and leave it in range of my Gallade. I figured it was more likely that I'd clean with my Gallade as opposed to Greninja because of the Blissey. So yeah, here I'm just gonna fire off a Hydro Pump. Thankfully I hit. If I didn't hit, I would have been in a really bad position. But yeah, Hydro's gonna do a ton, and he's actually gonna reveal the Trick Room. Now this is scary because basically, my whole team gets outsped by Magearna under Trick Room, and everything gets O-code. So, but thankfully I do have dual priority in Water Shuriken and Shadow Sneak. So I need 3 hits on this Magearna in order for it to be in range of my Galade's Shadow Sneak. So I go for the Water Shuriken. It's doing a decent amount. I get 2 hits. I get the 3rd hit, which is all I need, because I am adamant Gallade Shadow Sneak, but I get the 4th hit, which I really didn't need, and then I also get the 5th hit, which is kind of unfortunate. So yeah, here I would have revenged with Gallade anyway after I got the 3rd hit, but now it does kind of suck because he has to take this Water Shuriken with Alakazam, which means he'd guaranteed be in range of the Shadow Sneak from my Gallade. So yeah, he traces the Torrent, which is obviously irrelevant because I don't think because he has a Water move on his Alakazam. But I go for the Water Shuriken. I'm gonna get 4 hits here, which just guarantees he's in range of Shadow Sneak, which is great. Things are looking good. Gallade is looking to have a really good time, as here he does manage to kill me off with the Energy Ball. But Greninja definitely did its job. It weakened the Magearna and it also weakened this Alakazam. So yeah, here I can just go into Gallade. I can go for the Shadow Sneak. No need to overpredict. So yeah, basically what he has to do now is he has to go out into his Blissey, make me go for the close combat, and so my defense would drop, and then I'd be in range of foul play. So here is just go for the close combat. Earlier we didn't see leftovers on this Blissey, and as you're going to see now, he's actually not Choppleberry, so I'm really confused as to what his item was. But yeah, here it's Persian versus Gallade, Klefki, Garchomp, and Thunderous T. So I've pretty much got this game locked up. The Twisted Dimensions return to normal. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go onto my Klefki. I can 3 KO this Persian. I want to preserve differential just in case it might come in handy later. But yeah, you go for the foul play. I am able to eat that up, and then I will just be able to kill with 3 play roughs. All he can do to me is foul play. But yeah, we're gonna be able to pick up a 4-0 win versus Phantombass and his New York Cosmogs. So we are now 2-0 plus 8. But so that's a really good start to the season. Yeah, foul play is doing nothing. I can just go for play rough, and yeah, and I'll be able to 3-hit KO him. All he can really do is go for foul play. He can't go for parting shot, that'll fail. And yeah, so Klefki is going to be able to beat this Persian 1v1 with ease. And yeah, we're going to pick up, as I said, we're going to pick up 4-0 victory. So we're 2-0 plus 8. We are even though we're 2-0 plus 8, we are actually tied for the division lead. We're tied for the division lead. We're tied with Mastodon, who is also 2-0 plus 8, and we actually play him next week. So be sure to check that game out when it gets uploaded. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that game. But yeah, that was a really good game to Phantombass. Be sure to check out his channel. He's a really good guy. So yeah, without further ado, see you guys next time. Bye.